Okay, I'll try to make this quick, and I'll send a typed version of this mess at some point, but this is our amazing training facility. Those right there, those two PVC things, notice they had a top crossbar on them. That's what Annie, Holly, and Savannah vaulted on all last year. We got these new Ritchie ones at the end of the season in a sale. So they never actually vaulted on those prior to winning first, second, and third last year. Of course, at this point, I'm not coaching at Fairhope High School, so I'm just trying to pass along some information that may or may not be useful. Most of this, I think, directly relates to females. High school vaulters may or may not be translatable to boys, but this is what we got. Pole vaulting is not rocket science. That's something you always have to remember, and as also those standards remind us, you just got to do what you got to do while trying to stay safe. First rule is do not vault often in practice. Annie Lineberger is a 9th grader, had never vaulted before in her life, as far as I know. Neither had Ella Hafner, but they both cleared 8.6 and made it to state their freshman year. We were doing that on a high jump pit, which is presently at Foley High School. We sold it to them after we bought this from Hoover, and now we use the back of the pole vault pit as our high jump pit, so I guess it all comes around. We used to use the high jump pit as the pole vault pit, so they didn't vault a lot. Most of their vaulting was actually done at the meets. Everything else was practice, practice, practice. A lot of times vaulting too much just ingrains bad habits, and is just not a good plan. Speaking of which, bad habits and things is those vaulting clubs. I think all they do is vault, 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 and they don't do the hard stuff. Nobody wants to pay money to do hard stuff, which is drills, 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 and stuff, 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 and strength, strength, strength. So I'm not real high on that. They did not, at least I told them not to, and they said they weren't. They did not go to any vaulting camps from the time we started indoor till the time we finished outdoor. That also is a problem because you are having people talk in two different directions. I just can't go one direction when you have people going two directions, and a few other things that I could get into there. So what do? You work on pieces, parts, mostly. One-arm runs, right? What you're trying to do on a one-arm run, I would say do it at full vaulting distance, 6 stride, 7 stride, whatever. 6 stride I think is really as far as you need to go for girls, unless they're vaulting 13 feet or something. And your goal is to move your mark back, right? That's your goal, is to run fast enough, hard enough, powerfully enough that you are able to do it from 42.2 instead of 42 flat, and etc. and etc. Trying to get your feet to the bar, that's another thing you can do instead of vaulting. Trying to get straight up, get those hips as high as possible, get those feet up to a bar, to a bungee. Kick the wire. Well, we have this little setup here. I wouldn't suggest you go out and buy the car parts there, the axle supports, but that's up to you. It's just a unbent hanger wire. We would put that in front of the vault box. You can figure out a good distance. It's usually just right in front of it. And their job is to kick that wire with their down leg, their leg that leaves the ground last, and knock it a mile like a soccer ball. I've heard somebody say put a soccer ball out there. You just have to kind of fiddle with it till you get things in the right position, but it worked really, really well. We had no problem with this. You can do no bar, no bungee vaulting, concentrating on one aspect of the vault. Just one, say, okay, I want you to vault, concentrate on this one thing. If you're vaulting for clearance, I would suggest you don't use the bungee, use the bar. Bungees make it too easy to seem like you're doing something you really aren't. Maybe you're required to do 10 in a row at their starting height, their entering height for the next competition. Number 2, let them videotape each other and analyze on their own. It just seemed like when I did it, analyze, it just took too much time. And they got more out of it just analyzing and practice. I could, have them send me a few of their best ones or to look at later if I wanted to. You must videotape warm-ups, possibly, and definitely the vaulting competition is invaluable. What people do at competition, very different a lot of times than what they do at practice. Until a girl can turn over a 12-foot pole, although Savannah, I think, got to the point she could actually vault off an 11. and get a bend and things like that. It's just not easy to do. So until you really turn over a 12-foot pole, you're going to have to do the